And hello everyone. Yeah, I know I was a minute late. Oops. Got all sidetracked with stuff. But how's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody had a nice day. Yeah, I know if you're gonna say that. Yes, the sound panel fell off the wall. I need to fix that, but just ran out of time today. So who all's all here? Hello everybody. Oh, 14 already. Holy shit. We're chugging along. So guys, just like normal, we're going to give a couple minutes, let everybody get in here before we start. There's actually a couple add-on things we're going to mention once we get going, including Andy Dick. He got in a little trouble himself. I don't know why I got these on right now, because I don't need these, because I look like an idiot. Oh. I forgot to turn that on. So where is everybody up to tonight? Hello everybody. Critter, Gabby, Toby, Jay, Parallax. How are you guys doing tonight? Linda, hello. Yes, Andy Dick is in trouble, shocker. Yeah, except this time it's actually getting pretty serious. I mean, it's getting worse. Hello. Another minute or so before we get going. Ooh. Hold on. Get a chair stream. I'm pretty sure he's given everybody the creeps. I mean, heck, I remember watching like MTV back in the day back in the 90s, he gave me the creeps then, so. Yes, he was barking, not the little one, so, working on that. Oh, I remember the thing I was looking for. Crapola. I did not get that video pulled up. Yeah, where is it? Because I know we've watched it. So, let's see. What's everybody else up to? Yeah, Tangled, hello. I think I said hello to Linda. Yeah, Lauren, hello. Yeah, guys, if you're in here and you're liking it, smash the like button. That'd be great. God dang it, where did it go? Okay, yeah. Alrighty, good, I got it. It's a little, Oh, hi, Adrena, hey. How are you doing? I know it's a long time no see. Hope you're doing well. Hope you've been well. Yes, hello, Shannon. Forgot to mention other Shannon. I think there was, like, you're worried about, hanging in there, guys. Hey, Uncle Bubba, how you doing? Hi, Brandon B. Hello, Nicole. Alright, guys. Well, let's get started. I know it's about 30 or so people here, so, yeah, we'll just start with the, kind of the easy stuff first. So there's been an update with Dr. Husel. I know you guys, if you've been following me along, his whole saga. And no, it's not that I'm going to be having an interview coming up, although still trying to work on that. What happened is Dr. Husel has lost his medical license permanently. And as you can see here, hold on, we'll zoom in on that for you guys. So Dr. Husel, and I do not like this because it says after being exonerated, being found guilty does not mean you're exonerated. Hold on one second. Did I? Yeah, I did. Yes, I did. And we can get to the end on that, Parallax, if you want to. We can talk about that. Hey, Chaucerian, how you doing? So anyway, Dr. Husel wasn't exonerated. He was found not guilty. The jury doesn't determine that he's innocent. They just decided they don't believe he did it. That doesn't mean he couldn't have done it, or it's impossible for him to have done it, which is what an exoneration really is. And you hear about people who get sent to prison, they're exonerated because it's clear they didn't do it. That's not what happened for Dr. Husel. But what Dr. Husel did do, he permanently lost his license to practice medicine, at least in Ohio. And how do we know that? Because he surrendered his license to practice osteopathic medicine and surgery. So he was not an MD, he was a DO, but for what you and I would care about, it's the same thing as his medical license. So he's no longer allowed to. And because he surrendered it, they just went ahead and, on top of the suspension, they just permanently revoked it, which I still think is bullshit because he didn't do anything wrong. And it's clear he didn't do anything wrong. And it appears he operated properly with the normal medical procedures. Yeah, it's I think that's a political issue. And, I don't know why he did it, but certainly it's his call, and, he's going to decide what's best for him and his family. But yes, he did write in a statement to the medical board that by surrendering it, he'll no longer be allowed to practice surgery or medicine in any form in Ohio. So that takes care of that. He's been under suspension since 2019. There's the full notice, and this is before this. And here, and I forgot to pull this up before, but I'm glad I could still get to it. When you see things as far as notices go out in legal entries and journals, you might think it's some brilliant, it looks like an old parchment where it's all fancily put together. I mean, this looks like you guys could type this on your computer. That's the reality of it. Most of the things courts pump out just typed up on a computer. Nothing fancy, nothing special. This was Microsoft Word or WordPerfect, depending on what they use. But it's the State Medical Board of Ohio. The matter of Dr. William Husel. And this is just an entry of an order from the medical board, and therefore he's no longer allowed to practice medicine. This gets kept in their journals, and it's something that'll always be there, permanently entered on record. It was signed and sealed. This is his actual surrender. And here it is, and say, don't sign this without reading it. If you surrender your certificate, you're forever thereafter ineligible to hold a certificate or apply to the board for reinstatement of the certificate or issuance of a new certificate. And that's something to think about. Even if you were had not been in trouble, if you decided to surrender your license, you can't get another one. But like most hearings, because you're right in your due process rights, you right to have an attorney. So he would have been able to have an attorney if he wanted to fight it. I think he probably just said screw it, and he's probably looking to get out of the state of Ohio. If I had to look at things here, and there's quite a few pages here. I read through this earlier. This is just his initial suspension, and it just kind of goes on and on and on, and they put it all together. I can put a link if people want that later. I can put it up. So let me see here. I'm going to try to catch up real people quick. Well, they refer to themselves as the state of Ohio. It sounds fancier. Because technically Ohio doesn't mean anything, but when you specify the state of Ohio, lawyers like to be specific. So, there we go. Maybe that's a good thing to clip, I don't know. Every once in a while there are times where people are exonerated, but that's usually when something bad has happened. Well, there's a doctor of osteopathy and a medical doctor, and for a long time they were traditionally different paths, but in modern history it's pretty much the same thing. Like osteopathy is like more natural ways of addressing things, not to the same levels like being some hippie out at like Burning Man who you have cancer and they say eat redwood bark or something, but more holistic approaches to medicine is kind of like the basic way about it. Yeah, there's also that osteopathic manipulative medicine, yes. Oh yeah, and that's the sad part. I mean, think about how good he was and how many people have died in the meantime or could have used somebody with his skill set. There's got to be a hospital around that could have used his skill set and would have happily taken him. But we'll never get that, at least in Ohio. So I'm screwed, but if he lives somewhere else, maybe it'll help him. Yeah, and he's still being sued civilly. Yeah, but I think he's really going to be. I mean, his expert, Dr. Zivit, is like. I did some more reading up on him and talked to somebody I know who's in the medical field. He's actually pretty good at what he does, so I think he'll be all right ultimately. I was gonna say, be careful when you tell a doctor about chiropractic. They might throw hands at you. If you mention chiropractic and stuff. Ooh, that's not good. Hopefully it didn't crawl up your pants. A lot of money. I guarantee you at least. I bet it's probably closing. Yeah, if I had to guess right now, just thinking about it, over seven. I mean, at least seven figures. I mean, a lot of money, a lot of money. I can only imagine how much he spent on this. If not seven figures, high six figures. I will say, like George Zimmerman, for example, was a couple $1,000,000. Kyle Rittenhouse was north of $500,000. From what I understand, it was probably like maybe $600,000-700,000. This one, remember, this has been a couple years old and whatnot. Yeah, it probably wasn't cheap. But hey, would you pay $1,000,000 to avoid going to prison for the rest of your life? Yeah, I would too. I'd scrape up every dime possible. Will his malpractice insurance cover civil suit since he won the criminal case? I don't know. I don't know what his malpractice carrier provides for. They, remember, insurance companies, how do they make money? By denying claims and not paying out on stuff. If they paid out on things all the time, well, they wouldn't make any money because they'd spend all the money giving it away. So they always try to find exclusions and reasons not to. They might argue, who knows, like non-standard medical treatments and procedures. Yeah, he didn't break any rules, but it was really fucking weird. Why would you do it? Doesn't make any sense. Who knows? Whatever it is, they do. So, yeah, it all depends. The fact he won probably will make it easier for those insurance companies to want to defend him now, because there's less, it's not as bad PR looking wise, but you never know. Also, I got a fan running. Can you guys hear that? Because if not, that's good news because it is hot as heck in Ohio today. And I don't have the air on. So let me know if that fan's causing issues. So yeah, that's the, just kind of the update. And that's probably the last we're going to hear about Dr. Husel for really what's going on our end of things. Yeah, yep. Yeah, and in law school, for example, in your case law books, State Farm showed up a lot. And, they pick cases from like the 70s, 80s, and 90s where, in tort law, contracts, you name it, State Farm pops up from time to time. They've worked on their image a lot, but for a long time, they were getting sued left and right. and not necessarily good ways. Okay, if you guys can barely hear it, that's... Yeah, I'll turn it down a notch. So I gotta go in like full tilt. There. So yeah, that's it for Dr. Husel, I think, on our end. We'll never know. I mean, maybe his wife gets charged, and if she does, then we'll go down that road too. I guess the next thing, probably just going on real quick. Oh, hi, Charles. Hi, Zero Signal. Yep. Let's see what else is going on here. All right. I titled it the. How did I title this? Oh, the White People Prison Break. Well, I mean, they're both white, so I know I covered this with Vicky White and Casey White. I didn't know really trying a funnier way to talk about it. So that prison break is over. We talked about it last week, and she helped her, her prison boyfriend out, which makes no sense. But anyways, there's a picture of Vicky and Casey. She faked some medical issues to get him out, and they went on the run for about 10 days. They made it to Indiana, and then they got caught, and Casey surrendered, and then Vicky shot herself, which I kind of understand. When you get manipulated and played that hard, and the whole world's gonna know that some two-bit con kind of sweet talked you and hustled you. She took her own way out. I kind of understand it. But yeah, they made it to Indiana, and there was a police chase, and she had a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. I'm surprised she wasn't murdered by him at some point, because I assume she was just dead weight after a while. But good for her. Good for her for not getting killed by this lunatic, and maybe he really did like her. But yeah, here's the picture of her and him getting ready to leave. The weirdest part about it, though, is how did they get away with the police car and they were having issues? Well, a fellow jail worker called and asked to get picked up at a store in Alabama, and she claimed she left her keys in the car and needed a ride to work. And the employee's like, "Oh, that sounds strange, but I'll help you out." Well, like, you locked your police car up. So they found the parking lot and they found the police car there. So then what did they do? They ended up using a car they bought with cash and took off. But yeah, as you can see, he manipulated her. He played her. He got her to the point where she sold her house for $95,000. She ruined her life for this guy. And I think she realized it at the end. And she bought him clothes, and then she bought a bunch of sex toys. I have the feeling those probably weren't used a whole lot. But like I said, I do feel bad for her at the end of the day. Yeah, she was gullible and got played, but that's gotta be a shitty way to go knowing that happened to you. Oh, the arsenal in the car. Hold on here. Who was asking about that? They had quite an arsenal. That's not that much. I mean, that's a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol. Two pistols, a shotgun, and a rifle. I mean, it's enough to give you, like, a problem for, like, a cop or two, but you get, like, a team of marshals hunting you down, that's not enough. I mean, they'll air condition your car Bonnie and Clyde style. Yes, that is a very common thing that happens. Yes, and it's not that women know how to pick them. It's actually the inmates are very good at manipulating the guards, and they're able to take advantage of it. So, is the car wash guy collecting a word on the white's capture? I don't know if he gets it or how that works. He possibly. Remember, insurance companies don't like giving you money. Who else doesn't like giving you money? The government. So I can see the government saying, sorry, we're not going to do it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Well, it depends. I mean, not to make a joke, but it is Alabama, depending where they're at in Alabama. So, A-dubs, that's a going to church loadout. I mean, well, it's not necessarily the fact that it's 4 too many guns to have in a car with a convicted felon. It's 4 too many guns to have in a car with an escaped murderer. That's the big issue. Anyways, hi A-dubs. Hi Gina. Yeah, but I think Brandon's right. Choose a master manipulator. But yeah, the story's over. The saga ends. I'm really disappointed. Okay, yeah, I mean, I could see her home being over $100,000, but yeah. There. But yeah, it ends. Now, I'm surprised that Casey, well, not really too surprised, but he didn't even go down with a fight. Well, you know, you're going to go on the run like that as a murderer. You may as well just go for it. I mean, why not? But yeah, it sounds like he just gave up. Okay, yeah, 50% off, so, yeah. Anyways, hello Maven, how are you doing? So let's see what's on the list. What else is there? So I guess we'll get to what we did this week, and we'll talk about Mario Batali. I know a lot of you guys were here for that on Monday and Tuesday, but for those of you that weren't, Mario Batali, I'm not sure if I'll bring a picture up for him. I'll get an old picture of him because you guys probably don't remember what he looks like now. So we'll get him up. So if you guys don't recognize him, that's Mario Batali. You may remember him from way back in the day. You know, he was on Food Network with like Emeril Lagasse. They were kind of like the two big ones, and they were also like Bobby Flay and those guys. They made Food Network the big deal. If you haven't seen a picture of him now, that's Mario Batali now. Yeah, you could say, oh wow, time hasn't been nice to him, but he is also 61 years old, so, you know, eventually it catches up to everybody. So yeah, we're gonna. Oh, here, people only go to auctions to get cheap. You can find some cool stuff at auctions once in a while, like going to a estate sale. Not a bad idea every once in a while. That's how I found my anvil. I don't know with that, but sometimes guys do that to get, you know, food and treatment and, you know, better things. So, just happens sometimes. Yeah, he looks better than he lost weight now. Yeah, doing all right. Oh, about time. Thanks, YouTube, by the way. I'm glad you, like, just snipped 600 off the top like that. That was great. I'm not sure why. So, anyways, going back to it. Mario Batali was accused of indecent assault and battery. Back in 2017 at a restaurant in Boston, a woman is claiming that he assaulted her and groped her while she was taking pictures with him. And the pictures are kind of cringe and awkward. Hold on, where is it? Because I have it. Oh, crap. Hold on, I gotta pull it back off Discord because I put it on there. So he was, yeah. So this woman's there, sees him, takes a picture, he invites her over, come on over, we'll hang out. And they start taking selfies. In fact, one of the selfies looked like this. It's kind of quick, but there you go. For whatever reason, I don't know who had this before, but they blocked the face out. But, you know, there's Mario all acting like kind of a creeper all over this lady. And she claims at some point he was groping her. And he was grabbing her butt, grabbing her tits, grabbing her hoo-ha, you know, all the no-no zones. And because of that, well, in Massachusetts and in most states, believe it or not, especially if there's like sexual intent, that is a crime. For Mario, he was charged with indecent battery and assault. And because of that, whoever commits indecent battery, whoever commits it on a person who has attained the age of 14 or older shall be imprisoned in the state prison for not more than 5 years, or by imprisonment for not more than 1.5 years, 2.5 years in a jail or house of corrections. Now, I don't know Massachusetts law that well, but it sounds the way you read this, there's imprisonment in a state prison or a local time. So either way, it's very serious, and it's a felony. Also, you have to register as a sex offender after that. Now, both of those sound bad. So he had a hell of an incentive to fight, and guess what he did? He fought it. What he did by getting a bench trial, I think, was the proper decision. Now that we saw how the evidence played out, it cut to the chase. The judge was not going to put up with any bullcrap, and we'll play a clip in a second for those of you who weren't there. Actually, you know, we'll get to that now. There's a reason why this entire thing was a joke. And I'm sure, you know, for those of you who were there watching it with me, it was kind of pathetic. Oh, are you kidding me? Alright, I guess I'll just have to open it the old-fashioned way. So, hold on here. Yeah, he was on the chew. He needs to lose the Crocs. Oh my God. Yes, please, picture yes. Just don't. Sorry, Matthew. I sent it to you guys in the mod thing. Everybody gets to see it now. Yeah, he disappeared. He got unpersoned. This whole thing turned in. He also got Me Too'd. Mario has a long history, apparently, of being a little touchy-feely with women, to the point where he's actually apologized to some women, and that was enough to kind of nuke him off the popular scene. So, 10,000 cats Crimestream win. We get to 10K. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Yeah, they were the no-no areas. So, if you guys haven't seen this, and I'm not joking at all, you really need to see this part. This is actually the victim testifying, and on cross-examination, and yeah, a little fucked up. It's only a minute long, but I think we need to talk about it. So, this is his attorney bringing up a jury questionnaire she filled out back in 2018 when she served on a criminal trial. And you'll just hear what he talks about. It's hard to hear, and I'm sorry the audio sucks, but this courtroom wasn't properly wired for sound. We'll restart over. So, yeah. The woman actually claimed she was clairvoyant, and she doubled down on it. And she said, actually, no, I really am. And that's why Mario's attorney at the end said, just so we're clear, you put that down and you're not lying. And she admitted she's clairvoyant. I really felt like that should have ended the trial right then and there. That was day one. I mean, I'm not gonna joke, but I mean, it sounds like she's a big fucking liar to me, at least. It got further along. She admitted that she was in her text messages. Now, guys, remember, she sued him civilly. So at that point, what happens? Well, when you sue somebody civilly, a lot of things come out. And remember, your cell phone, your text messages, going back years and years and years and years and years, they don't just disappear. Maybe you can wipe your phone, but your carrier's probably going to have it. And if you don't do a good job cleaning your phone, well, they're there. So they found her text messages where she talked to her friend and said, yeah, I just love to get some settlement money. I'd love to just get my $10K and just, wander off with it. With a bunch of LOLs and joking text. And he asked her about that, and she said, well, I thought that's how celebrities do it. Basically just cutting people checks. She also got caught lying about submitting a fake lease to get out of a gym membership. That one really isn't a big a deal. It just shows she'll manufacture things. But, the fact she admits to being clairvoyant. She's a nutter. She's a crazy person. Day two, her best friend took the stand. Her friend was... I don't really see the evidentiary point in that, because she has no independent knowledge of what occurred. All she can say is, my friend told me X, Y, and Z happened to her. So the reason why she was allowed to talk about it, I don't know. In fact, she was deposed as part of the civil lawsuit a couple years ago, and that information was not matching up with what was going on at trial. So they asked her, are you telling the truth now, or what's the deal? And she said, I just remember things better now, 5 years later versus 2 years later. So, yeah, a lot of bullshit. Can't believe it. None of it made sense. Thankfully, the judge took it and cratered it. But yes, for those of you who haven't watched it, and I'm working on putting the video together, it's just trying to clip out all these pieces of this witness saying stupidity has been a little tough. The judge gave a very scathing critique of the victim's credibility, but also, as he stated to Mario Batali, he has not clothed him. He did not cloak himself in honor that night. Being a sloppy drunk who's all over the place, licking up and down that lady's face like he's a golden retriever, that's not. It's like, come on, man, you got to pull yourself together. And in the meantime, he has lost, almost been like Johnny Depp. He's been unpersoned. He is not a popular person anymore. His company, where he owned multiple restaurants, he was basically forced to sell his interest, by the other shareholders. So yeah, his career has been ruined. But unlike Johnny Depp, it sounds like he actually has done some of these things to women. So yeah, that's it. And this was just kind of like the icing on the cake. So, and this, sadly for him, got aired to the world. So people got to see some of those pictures. But yeah, at the end of the day, I'm really disappointed the state brought these charges. You can't trust this person. Do you think he was on Family Feud? Well, I have it on my, it is on the live things. If you go there and check, it was streamed, so we got the whole thing. Yeah, that was one of the big issues for her, because it came out on cross as she was getting groped. The defense attorney pointed out the timestamps on the pictures. It's over the course of about 5 or 6 minutes. So it's clear she's taking pictures, and then she's looking at them, and then she admits she was talking back and forth with Batali. She claims at some point she was saying, like, don't do that, and naughty. Who knows? Nobody really knows for sure, but it just doesn't look very convincing. I also think if she's clairvoyant, how did she not see this coming? And somebody brought that up, and, then somebody brought up, well, if she knew it was coming and didn't stop it, does that mean she was okay with it? And I think as a joke, that's fine. Yeah, Mr. Raven, I hope you didn't get a selfie with him. Oh, there's no sound on the video? Shit, I'm sorry. Oh, damn it. I'm breathing heavy because my sinuses are killing me. No sound. Fuck. God damn it. Alright, let me try something else here. Hold on. Crap. Open with movies and video. Alright, let's try this then. Let's see here. So let's try this. You think... Alright. God damn, you guys are... At least you guys know how to break my balls. I'll give you credit here. Alright. Let's try this again. I'm going to immediately go to the bottom of this chat. See if you guys can hear it. Let me know if you guys can hear this. Okay, I don't know. I'm boomering it up or something. Okay. So, basically, she admitted to being a clairvoyant. You'll have to just watch it on the, You'll have to watch it later, when I put the, recap together. So, yeah. I guess I'll go back down here. Yes, let me see. Apologize for some dollar apology notes. No sound, no sound. Do as Keanu does, poses for pics and never touches. That is correct. Keanu Reeves, the world-class expert in the hover hand. Yes, no sound, no sound. Boomer audio, thank you. We can't hear it. Play it again. No sound. I don't know, guys. I don't know what I need to do. Notice us. I was trying to notice along. Sorry, I get wrapped up in what I'm listening to. Thanks. Yes. Great. This really is every week it's my personal hell that I've built. Oh, there really is a clumsy clairvoyant, so I thought you were just making fun of me. Sean, wake the fuck up. KTB, thank you for the super chat. Holy cow. Thank you for trying to raise the alarm. Like I said, I was watching the video, and when I do it, it opens up on my screen, so I couldn't see the chats. But god damn it. Thank you very much. You did not need to do that. I appreciate it. You just mute yourself and we're all good. Oh, seriously though, that I appreciate something like that. So don't ever feel obligated. Anything anybody sends, I am greatly appreciative of, but there's no obligation. I mean, like if there were 1,000 of us in here, yeah, I might have to slow the chat down, but guys, god damn. Whew, more burns than in a hospital. I do, but I haven't had problems lately, so I hadn't worried about it, but I'm probably going to start firing one up. You own the property when it's your own personal home. Yeah, and that's why I think it really didn't happen. I went muted for a second, guys. I'm not muted right now. No, this is just iced tea right now, not bourbon. I don't like bourbon and these don't mix together too well. But yeah, he got done. Like I said, guys, I'm putting it together. Hopefully, it comes out tomorrow. It's very interesting, so we'll take a look and we can talk about it. What else is there? Moving on. Let's move on to some me not fucking something up. Uh, um. So. Hold on. So Sarah Boone is set to start next week as a trial. That's the suitcase murder. Off topic, they already heard. Long Crime saying is calling Johnny Depp even though they cross-examine him. What if... No, that's actually correct. They're calling him under direct. If I call you up as a witness, I'm making you testify in direct testimony. I don't know who on Long Crime would say that. It doesn't make any sense. When you have direct testimony, you can't lead. I can't ask you yes or no questions and cut you off if you talk too much. They're going to have to ask John, they would have to ask him open-ended questions that he can answer and answer and answer. And if they try to stop him, he's trying to provide an answer to the question. So whoever said that, it doesn't make a damn point. Like, there's no point in this at this for now. I mean, they could do it. Just like I could go out tomorrow and rob a bank, but why would I? Yeah, whoever the hell in Long Crime said that's going to happen, I mean, that's really fucking weird to do. And I'm like I said, guys, I'm really trying to work on this swearing thing, but that's really, really weird. There's no point to it. Johnny's already testified. And if you're trying to get him off of what Amber said, I'm going to be more, if I was John or Amber's team, I'm more worried about what's going to happen when Amber gets up on cross and they light her on fire. And I'm going to damage control that. Because you're now putting a hostile witness on direct testimony. That's, yeah, I don't see how that goes. So, yeah. No, you're fine. It's totally fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, streaming the state trial for the George Floyd cops. Yeah, but those guys are getting railroaded. It's going to be a lot of the same crap. It's basically a rerun of the Derek Chauvin trial. So, I don't think it's going to be too exciting from that end. I hope their attorneys do a good job and crush it, but I don't think they're going to get a fair shake up there. Yeah, I'm not worried about when Amber tests. I'm worried about the cross. I want to see the cross. I'm curious to know about the cross. Like, I'll probably watch recaps of that cross. Yeah. Sean, you're charming. If we wanted a slick announcer, we'd visit the other channel. Yeah, that would be the other team, too. He's eating up all their time. They put a whole video out about it. Yeah, that's like I said, that's weird. Wouldn't he be called a hostile witness? Yes, but you already did cross-examination of him. I mean, anything you wanted to get out of him there, you should have got it right then and there. It's just weird. It's goofy. Yes, I did hear about this hearing. Baked Alaska, he's a person who went in the Capitol building. Yeah, he kind of screwed things up at his plea hearing. I'm going to get some of that stuff, and I'm planning on covering that in a little bit, like, more in depth. But, yeah, not enough time tonight. Oh, Spurgy with a super sticker. Holy shit, $20. Thank you. Thank you very much. Brevity is the soul of wit. Oh, so somebody's leaving. Well, Katie, have a nice night. How's it going? Talking on the right side of the mic tonight? I believe so. I haven't messed with it then. That's fine. I'm totally fine with everybody showing up. I don't trust law and crime, neither do I. Maybe they feel like they can badger them more to make the jury hate them. Still doesn't make any sense to me. I don't... Like I said, just like Jurassic Park when Dr. Malcolm says, you're too worried about whether or not you can do it instead of thinking about whether or not you should do it. I'm sure whoever thought of that, hey, that'll sound like a great article, we'll get clicks, and it's zany and wacky, but also true. I haven't read it, but I'm thinking it's going to be a bunch of junk and garbage, so who knows. We are, hold on here. Yeah, once again, thanks A-Dubs, I see that. You can hear, hold on, let me, now you got me all worried. Oh. That's weird. Okay, can you guys hear me better now? Yeah, there's a fan going, but can you guys hear me better now? Okay. No, there was some... Okay, like, I don't use, like, a Sony Panasonic X400, Golden Badger foot camera or whatever most of these guys here on YouTube use. I'll fill you on a little secret. I use, like, a $20 1080p webcam I found on Amazon. So... Apparently it's got its own speaker, and for some reason that speaker was running along with this bad boy. So had to fix that. Some reason I've never had that happen before. So yes. All right, so yeah, that was weird. That was so weird. I've never had that happen before. I'll just have to keep track of that in the future. We'll get to that in a minute, but we're going to do Sarah Boone first. This is a trial that's set for next week in Florida. On the really kind of fucked up scale, it's like a 20 out of 10. But on the is this a crime scale, I think it's like a 2 out of 10. So, okay, guys, yes. Jeez. Oh, if she's on, I might, hold on, where's my, fuck, I put my phone. Mark, do you know what time that's at? Put it in the chat. I am very, I may be able to cover that because some things got moved from Friday to, Monday. Well, I don't have to worry about taking dibs because they're all going to cover Johnny and Amber next week. I'm going to do Sarah Boone. I will say, guys, I'll just give you a bit of a heads up for next week. Actually, wait, my schedule does not suck as bad as I thought it did, but there are a couple days where it does suck. Next week. So, I was really kind of freaking out about that. Is it all in person? Oh, phone. Oh, thank God. Okay. Hell yeah. All right. So yeah, a couple days are going to suck. But overall, it won't be too bad. Mike Scalor, these damn rich lawyers. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but this bad boy, yeah, this is like a $30 Amazon special. Yeah, I'm doing this a little bit on the cheap, and some of you are going to be like, "Oh, that's like a real lawyer." Sure, but I'm not going to buy like the $20,000 microphones or any fancy stuff like that. But yeah, as far as stuff really cool in Ohio, nothing super big yet. The Sarah Boone thing, though, I think is going to be awesome. And for you guys that don't know, we're going to watch a little bit of what Sarah Boone's charged with. It's a little awkward. It's, yeah, like I said, it's very ghoulish. Sarah Boone is in Florida, so it'll be in the Eastern time zone. So you're going to see something. This is Sarah Boone taking the picture, and this is of a suitcase. In the suitcase, there is somebody named Jorge Torres Jr. Sarah Boone was in a relationship with him. And I'm assuming you guys will be able to hear this. But yes, here's what happened.
Sarah.
For everything you've done to me.
Sarah.
For everything you've done to me.
Sarah.
Fuck you.
Sarah.
Fuck you.
Sarah.
Stupid.
Sarah.
That's my name. Don't wear it up.
So, yeah. That's coming from the suitcase. He got himself in there, and it's not 100% clear how the lid got closed, but it did. Sarah claims that he sealed himself in there, although we're not really sure, and I think there'll probably be some evidence at trial, but yeah. Anyways, let's keep going for another minute.
Sarah. I can't fucking breathe, babe. Seriously.
Yeah, that's when you do when you choke me.
Sarah.
So he can't breathe. He's getting asphyxiated from positional asphyxia, and she says, you know, that's what you get. We'll skip ahead a little bit.
Sarah, I can't breathe.
It's on you.
Sarah.
And then we'll skip ahead.
Because I got it.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Regular ass.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Sarah, I can't breathe, babe.
And that's kind of that's the theme of the rest of that. So thank you, Stabby. I appreciate all that. Yeah, sure. I'll share that with you. I'll send you some info. What's in the bag? Yeah, what's in the box? Well, a dying person. She sounds drunk. Yeah, she was. I mean, it's clear that was going on. Yeah, welcome to the world of criminal law. Yes. Yep. From what I understand, yeah, I think, that was, kind of like a, hey, check this out, hold my beer moment. Yeah, she said she went to sleep and she claims she found him dead in the morning. Yeah. Where's the question? Yes, he is dead. He suffocated and died. Did you watch the interrogation? No, I do need to watch that. I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I never saw the whole thing. Yeah. She never took him out of the suitcase. Yeah. Now, is that murder? I don't know. Personally, what a terrible way to die. Yeah, while some skink is laughing. The thing to think about, though, is if he put himself in the bag and sealed it up, what did she do? Nothing. She sat there and laughed. But she did not do it. She did not put him in there. She did not keep it from opening it. If he put himself in that danger, is that murder? I'd argue no. We don't charge people for not doing something. In the very rare instance, you don't have a duty to report or a duty to act. Generally, like nurses in their standard of care, a doctor working on something, a firefighter or a paramedic, yeah, they may have a duty to perform an action in certain situations. But for you as an average person walking down the street, if you don't help that man, you could go to prison for it. We don't do that. I don't like that idea. And, this may be one of those times where she knows she did it. We know she did it. She knows that we know she did it. And she lied anyway. If they can't prove it, tough crap. She gets to walk, and she shouldn't be charged if they can't prove it. And I think that's an issue. Let me see here. Hold on. Let me. Did it mute, or could you guys actually hear that? Because I'm not seeing anybody screaming mute, mute, mute. Yeah, she's a horrible person. No, it's not a death penalty case. There's no premeditation. She could do anything there. You can swear here. That's fine. But I appreciate that will call. Oh no, he dead. He dead, Ronnie. Sorry, I'm catching up. Yeah, so who did that? She failed to assist him when he said he couldn't breathe. But do you have to? Does she have to do anything? Yeah, and she claimed that, he was hiding and left them. And yeah, the video obviously shows that's not the case. And that she was kind of like, hey, I bet you can't get in there. And he did. And yeah. Who says she didn't seal it? Well, I mean, if you take the inside of that zipper and you can kind of go around with it, I don't know. That part of the video I haven't seen. Maybe that's not on video. I mean, you could push it along and get it stuck in there, and if he moved his hand and got jammed, I don't know how he got in there. Is it depraved indifference? No, because depraved indifference generally is my actions are a depraved indifference. Remember, it's about action, not inaction. Generally speaking, when you commit a murder, you're committing an act, a positive act. And I don't mean positive that it's good, but a clearly defined, forward, something that you undertook, you can tie into, was it reckless, was it wanton, was it depraved, was it negligent, or was it intentional? Sitting there and just not doing anything, that's the issue. If you see somebody drowning out in a lake and you don't help them, is that murder? Do we want a society to help people? Should we help each other, those we care about, even if they do treat us like shit? Yeah, nobody wants to see anybody die. But does she have to help somebody who puts themselves in danger? That's the question. That's the question you're going to have to deal with. Going to need a big-ass suitcase there. A big-ass suitcase. I don't know, because I don't think there's any proof that she touched the bag. We'll find out, though. Maybe they have some evidence about it. Let's see here. The zip is on the outside, but remember, look at the inside of a zipper. You've got the inside part of, the little thing the zipper goes on. He could have moved it. I don't know. Who knows? Remember, they have to prove it, and they have to lay out a theory that's plausible. So we'll see what theory they lay out. I'm assuming, yes, that's their theory. You couldn't zip it on your own, but we'll see. A Good Samaritan law? No, that's not generally how it works. So a Good Samaritan law generally immunizes you if you try to do something in good faith. So, for example, if your car's on fire and I come up to it and I drag you out of your car and I break your arm in the process. Okay, well, I'm trying to help you. You can't sue me for that. Or if I try to splint, I'm trying to help you and you get hurt a little bit. That's fine. But let's say you're hurt and I try to perform surgery on the side of the road. I'm not a surgeon. I have no training. And I seriously injure you. Well, that's way outside what you'd expect someone to do or what you could realistically do. So the Good Samaritan law wouldn't cover you. You're never, unless you put someone in danger, you don't have a duty to act. So if you walk up to me and you're going to go swim or go do something dangerous, and I say, oh yeah, it's fine, you can go out there, hey, it's cool, maybe I have a duty. Or if I own the land, or if I own this or that, or it's my reason that something happened, yes, I have a duty. But that's the same thing if you walk by and you see somebody hanging off the edge of the Grand Canyon as you're walking by. Do you have to save him? I mean, morally you should, but legally, do you have that obligation? No. It's not your job. Not your monkeys, not your circus. Yes, I think that's true and that's an issue, but once again, that's something they're going to have to put together. Yes. Big duty. I don't know. That's not information we have. Remember, guys, there's all kinds of evidence we haven't seen. So maybe there is something that gets her. And I've used a zipper like 9 million times. So have I. Once again, Stabby, it's an issue of you have to prove how this happened. And just walking up to a jury saying, come on, there's no other way this could have happened, isn't probably going to do it. I think they have to make an argument. How did the bag get flipped over? There must have been some help. How did all these things go? And her interrogation, she's not honest. And maybe that will help them, but you're going to have to prove that, just because she's a lying scumbag doesn't mean she did this. Does it make it more likely that her, she's not credible? Sure. But once again, that's still not enough. Still not enough. If she was playing a game with him when she said, like, hey, I bet you can't do it, and he did it, if she helped him zip it, yes, she has an obligation to help him. But if she didn't touch the bag, I would argue legally she doesn't have that obligation. Ultimately, he's an adult. He's not a child. He's not somebody who's developmentally disabled, or anybody she has a duty of care for under the law. No, but it sounds like they had an abusive relationship. I don't know if it was both ways, but, she claims he choked her in that, but, if he's small enough to fit in that bag, I'm sure they were probably violent. But also remember, she could have been beaten on the suitcase, or as he was trying to fight to get out, you're going to try and push on the sides of that. You might injure yourself. Think about when they found coffins from the 1800s where somebody got buried, and they just happened to be unconscious or in a coma, and they've opened up the coffin and there's like fingernail scratches all over. So, being no, I have not had the opportunity to defend somebody in a court-martial at a UCMJ action. And that is interesting because you can hire attorneys. You can have a private attorney who is not a member of the military defend you. But no. And that's generally because I don't live near a military base. That's something, especially in big towns where there's bases like D.C., San Diego, anywhere you're going to find a lot of military people that could happen. Yes. Jury nullification can work both ways. I mean, if the jury convicts somebody, if you get convicted and there's not enough evidence, the court will overset that verdict, and the court should overset a verdict. A jury that convicts without the necessary evidence, that's wrong. I mean, I've mentioned before, if you fuck around in a trial and ruin somebody's right to a fair trial, like what happened with Ghislaine Maxwell when that guy lied to get on the jury, that's horrible. You are a complete scumbag. You are as big a problem with the assault on constitutional rights as corrupt police officers are. If you're on a jury and you convict a man because you just don't like him and there's not enough evidence, you're that same level of scum. So That's not really jury nullification. Jury nullification is just we don't care he's not guilty because we don't like the law. Yeah, and like I said, it's really going to come down to what they can prove and what they can show. No, not at all. I mean, if people do all kinds of goofy crap while they're drunk. That's that's possible. I mean, that might be a theory. I don't know. Remember, the state doesn't have to tell us the theory beforehand. Yeah, that's why somebody would sit outside next to the grave. It's called the graveyard shift, waiting for the bell to ring. Yes, fat kids are hard to kidnap. Good night, Shannon. No, you can hire private counsel. You're gonna want counsel who probably has some military experience though, or former military attorneys. Yeah, I don't remember all of that at the time, so like Joe painting himself purple like a chin. I'm not gonna paint myself purple. But oh god, if they do that, that's just one more way for suitcase zippers to break and fall apart. We don't need that. But yes, I could see that happening. Sue somebody. So yeah, that'll be interesting when it happens. And then well, yeah, military law, it's a wholly different animal. There are, interestingly enough, for a long time, the UCMJ afforded more rights and protections than the average person walking down the street. Search and seizure law was very different. Your Fourth Amendment, you had a lot of civil right protection from your constitutional rights under the UCMJ, and there are quite a few times where the Supreme Court's trying to figure out search and seizure issues, Fifth Amendment issues, Sixth Amendment issues. They look to the UCMJ, and there are times where it's actually, oh wow, the military already offers this. We're going to use that to shape how we do things for the civilian world. So, but there are times where there are things that are screwed up, or not necessarily screwed up, but vastly different. Like in the military, infidelity, that is a crime you can be punished for. That's not something you could do walking down the street. You can be, as a citizen or civilian, you can commit infidelity. The military, that's a problem. Yeah, sorry, messing with my camera here. Military law is simpler than the actual legal system. It's quite harsh. Oh yeah, when you get to the penalty phase, oof, yeah. No, the UCMJ, yeah, people, yeah, it can get really bad very quickly. Especially if you get like a big chicken dinner or something like that, bad conduct discharge or dishonorable discharge. So, so you understand why the rich guy kills his wife, but everybody else, you're like, why don't you just leave? Well, I mean, if we're getting to the idea of why do people commit crimes, if you ever figure out the answer to that, you can make $1 billion. People do stupid stuff. Sometimes people are angry, anger, greed, lust, pride. Pick any one of your sins, except gluttony. I mean, usually you don't kill people over gluttony, but so, oh, you gotta go, Brandon. We'll have a nice night. Last thing, guys, just to finish out, is This kind of goes into what happened with Supreme Court last week. So there were, and I think Parallax mentioned this earlier, people have been protesting outside the houses of the Supreme Court justices, and they live in the suburban D.C. area, some in Maryland, some in Virginia. None of them live in D.C. Wonder why. I won't comment on that. How could we know that you're not a pedophile? I'm not Vosh, so don't know. Unless I missed something, Godslayer. But people are outside protesting. Now, if you called me and you called my office and either got a hold of my cell phone number or sent me an email through my website or called and one of the girls up front, came in, knocked on my door and said, hey, somebody'd like to talk to you, I'd say, okay, hey, cool. What are they thinking about doing? They want to go protest in front of a federal judge's house. Or just any judge's house. What's my answer? That's a really bad idea. You shouldn't do that. Why? Well, it just doesn't look good, one. And number two, you can actually get charged with things. Is it illegal itself? It all depends on how it looks at. What are the people charging you intending to do? What are the federal authorities? If you leave because your partner is sitting on cakes on OnlyFans, is that gluttony? Maybe. You shouldn't protest at anyone's home. As far as people say, like, oh, back in the day, we wouldn't do this. Well, no, back in the day, the whole town would show up, drag you out of your house. If they had a problem with you, they would drag you out of your house, beat you senseless, and then maybe tar and feather you. Or they might just kill you. I don't know. What do I think of the liability for non-merit-based hires and positions of authority? Well, I mean, that's always a bad idea. It's never a good idea. You should always be based on merit. It leaves you with having people in charge of authority who are incompetent. That never ends well. Never ends well. All right. Well, hey, Stabby, have a nice night. Thanks for stopping by. And you're right. It is illegal if they're trying to influence. And you know what? There are federal laws against this. And that's why if you told me, hey, I'm going to go protest this judge, probably not a good idea. And here's why. I mean, there's actual U.S. law against this. 18 U.S.C. 1507, picketing or parading. With the intent of interfering, obstructing, or impeding the administration of justice, with the intent of influencing any judge. Pickets or parades near a building housing a court of the U.S. or enter near a residence occupied or use such judge. Yeah, that doesn't sound good. Now, does that mean you can't do anything at all? No, because I do think you have the right to redress. It's still the government. And you could say you're unhappy with the decision, but for a pending decision, yeah. What I would say is, imagine if you were on trial for something and people are outside your bench trial. So it's the judge is your jury and people are outside protesting that judge's house saying convict, imagine, if it's you and all those people are saying convict them, send them to prison, screw them. They're a horrible human being. And they got their signs and there's a ton of them. They're not threatening violence. They haven't hurt anybody, but they're just loud and aggressive. And they aren't going away anytime soon. Would you want that at your trial? No. That'd be bad. On the other hand, If you had a ton of people out there screaming, he's innocent, don't do anything bad, make the right call. Do you want that? I mean, on a face, it sounds good. Yeah, there's a lot of people supporting you, but that can also cause problems. People can get mad. They can say, oh, fuck these protesters. Screw these people. Now, if they're at the courthouse, does that make a little more sense? Sure, that's where it's all going down. I think probably like Kyle Rittenhouse is a great example of that, or Johnny Depp and Amber. There's people right there protesting and against and for. But for the judge, anybody at her house? No, I wouldn't want anybody near her house. Yes, you do have the right to free speech, but you also can't use your free speech right to start screwing with things. And screwing with a federal judge is high on that list. Imagine if Exxon or some sort of business just had a Supreme Court case decided. Do you want people going out there and manipulating that one way or another? Because remember, the Supreme Court just doesn't do criminal rights or constitutional rights. Sometimes they make decisions that have billions and billions of dollars of economic impact. Do you want people manipulating those judges? No. You wouldn't want that. That can change so many things. That's something to consider. There's always that, you have to be careful about it. And I don't like this idea of all these people out there protesting. I mean, yeah, there's some of them where they're quiet and they're just walking around. And, okay, I could probably let that slide. But when you're chanting and hollering, that starts, I think, getting to the point you really are influencing people. But like I said, if you told me you were going to do this, I would tell you not to do it. It just sounds like a bad idea. And sure, nobody's gotten in trouble yet. But all it takes is for one of the governors or one of a U.S. attorney to say, screw it, I'm going to start arresting people. Yeah, that's great. And then you're in trouble. But yes, for right now, I know a lot of people, it's being politically pushed. Where is it? So, yeah, well, yeah, that was very true. Guys, we're not going to get into that on here. We're going to just cool our jets, okay? Somebody said it, yeah, I saw that, and I think, yes, I will say that's fair. We can say that yes, it's probably politically motivated, but remember, I think I mentioned this before, that happens every time. It's always political one way or another. Both sides, well, really, there's only two parties, but the weaponization of government and power has only ramped up from going backwards in time, but there have always been political prosecutions. This, though, I think is a fair one to say, look, we're going to stop this now. You're not doing this anymore. I think this should happen right here and right now and be done. Because at what point does it become an issue? Let's say that person is a Supreme Court nominee. So future Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. She wasn't a judge. There was no ruling or order in discharging of their duty. Getting confirmed isn't really an official duty, I would argue, and I think you could probably do a good job making that argument. Could people go protest her at her house? Say, don't take the appointment, resign, you're horrible, or can people cheer her on and say you really should do it? Because remember, influencing and interfering or impeding, yeah, you're trying to influence. You can influence positively or negatively. Where would that line go? And I think it might be better to say, look, you're not doing that. Is he in... I thought he was in Maryland, but yes, I know that somebody got their office shot at, yes. Well, no, the cops doing security for these judges are U.S. Marshals and federal agents, so they've got different rules, and if things get too lippy, they will crack skulls and do what's necessary.
Except in this case, Toby, I think is even for Kavanaugh, one of the people helping lead the protest and kind of showed the world where he lived was his neighbor who didn't like what he was doing and disagrees with this ruling that was going to possibly come out in Dobbs v. Mississippi. So, if your neighbor doesn't like your politics and goes on Facebook or Twitter and lets the world know, hey, come on, show up, guys. I mean, what do you do then? It sounds like your HOA and people involved in it may be fine with it. For some of these neighbors of some of these justices, they're letting them, protesters use their bathrooms, or, hey, it's raining, you can sit in my garage, or here's an umbrella, or you guys want snacks and cocoa. So it's not that simple. It's not that simple. No, because they're not encouraging these people to do anything. They're not encouraging anybody, as you can see, they're not encouraging anybody to interfere, obstruct, or impede the administration of justice or influence the judge. They're just saying we support people have the right to protest and voice their opinions. That's a very neutral comment, but also to hold an executive branch, the press officer, the press secretary, that's what they would say, I would argue, is very heavily protected, because that's the epitome of political speech. I mean, she speaks for the President of the United States. So, the President of the United States would have a massive immunity just based on political speech alone. The person speaking, his designated mouthpiece, I would argue, has that same authority and protection. Yeah, that's, like I said, I think that's the one letting people use the bathrooms too. Where somebody asked? Somebody asked about a mob and how do I feel about that? Yeah, this could easily turn into some big problems very quickly. Yeah, all it takes is somebody to do something stupid or ramp it up and things get out of control. And that's the concern. That's why I think it should be very careful about how this is done, and I think this can be handled a better way. Oh, here you go. Yeah, Harris, you brought this up. A mass protest in front of a home is, it's dangerous. I mean, because I'll tell you this much, you come to Ohio and do it, people, or come to a place where people can be armed. Yeah, somebody's going to be in their house with a rifle ready to go. You put a mob of 100 people outside my house, I'm going to be armed to the teeth. And there's going to be loaded firearms all over the place, and I'll be carrying one. And somebody comes up and they start screwing around, and maybe they're going to try a prank, but I don't know what they're doing, and it's the middle of the night. I might just shoot them through the window and kill them. And then what's that do? Then the mob gets mad and it turns into a big mess. It's very dangerous. It's ratcheting up things, and it just takes one little spark and it just goes. Super chat. Zero Signal Zen, $10, first time live, digging the stream, great chat. Cheers all. Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oh, I agree that they should say, look, you guys really shouldn't do this. But are they doing anything that's wrong yet? No, but it's... Yeah, but I mean, that's kind of how it goes. Nobody likes it when it happens to them, but everybody likes doing it until it does happen to them. And I think that's where you have to draw the line. And that's where, I think you're correct. Protesting elected officials and judge deciding a verdict. Yeah, and that's why I think that's a problem. I don't want judges being that way. I want them being left alone. Good night, Gabby. Thanks for sticking around for a while. It's almost an hour and a half. We're doing good. It's all fun and games until you catch a felony. Well, you can, if you went to a federal courthouse and picketed out in front of it, I think you would have a better chance, and I think I would be more than happy to defend that action. I think you would have far more of an argument that you have the right to voice your opinion in the seats of power. At the judge's house, though, I don't think you're going to get, I think, you're much better off trying to make that argument in front of the courthouse. Now, I would say there's a difference between in front of the courthouse or in the parking lot, the gated off parking lot in the back where the judge goes in and you're out there screaming and hollering at him through the fence. Yeah, I don't like that. But if you're out in front or you're picketing the block, sure. I just think you have to be smart about it. But also remember, you can't be one of the little people. If you're going to do something illegal or stupid, having protection helps from friends in high places. Yeah. Yes, and that's ultimately what's going to happen, Jay. I said that it's political. It's probably nothing going to happen. Yes, we don't want judges being lobbied. That's very true as well. We need to have one set of rules. We do, and that's a problem but that's been a problem for a really long time. I agree. All right, well, thanks again. Have a nice night. How dangerous a precedent do you think the leak was of the first draft? Remember, this actually happened, if you go back to when Roberts ruled on the Affordable Care Act and he was that fifth vote, the swing vote. That got leaked in an attempt to force him to go one way or another. And from what I understand, it's most likely believed that was from the conservative wing of the court. So this isn't the first time it's happened, but on something like this, yeah, this is bad. I don't want this happening ahead of time. Because like I said before, if the Supreme Court's making a big ruling on how the Federal Trade Commission or the SEC can handle something, that can have a $1 trillion impact on the economy. If it's something affecting Exxon or Microsoft or just how you can do something in your life, but it affects 300 million people, that can have wide-ranging impacts. We can't afford to have these things leak and mess with the economy one way or another and mess with our lives like that. All sides live by same rules. Yeah, that'd be nice. If I don't want the law outside my house, I'll avoid being outside their house as a role model. Yeah. Tony Soprano's going to send Chris to have a chat with the judge. Wow. Yeah. I don't think it's going to end well. I don't think it's a good idea. But that's, once again, what do I know? I'm just some guy in Ohio. So. No. Well, I mean, here's the thing. It's not, but the die's already been cast on that. I think a great example is the way Taylor Renz handled the Libs of TikTok article, where not even the fact she doxed someone, but some random person in London who had the same name as that lady was getting doxed, and they were ruining her life, and it took her 24 hours to come out and say, oh, wait, not that person, you guys have the wrong target. It was very sloppy work. But I think like CNN tried to do this with somebody who made a meme making fun of them when it showed Trump beating them, and they ran that guy down and said, look, withdraw the meme or we'll air your name to the world. Yes, doxing can be very intimidating, but, that ship's kind of sailed. Yep. Oh, yeah, lots of people got wealthy during the pandemic, yes. But in this case, I just think it's, I don't know his logic behind it. He may actually know, and he may be a little more confident, but he has to hedge his bets for purposes of like a defamation lawsuit. But if that person really did do it, they should be hounded. They should be identified as somebody who screws with our democratic institutions. And the last one that was going to be, the one that was kind of the last one above influence. And, like I said, I think they're skirting it about telling people to go do this. I think it really pushes the limits. So, I mean, yeah, that's it. Oh, wait. Are you guys ready now? We're going to break down Amber Heard's body language. I'm just kidding. We're not doing that. So, yeah, tomorrow I'm going to see... Actually, hold on here. While we're here, Redonda Font sentencing. What time is it? Oh, come on here. What time is it at? No, I don't care about not buying your crappy wallpaper or newspaper tendency. Why is the case controversial? How do the nurses feel? What are her convictions? She's sentenced. Yeah, she can face up to 8 years in prison. Trying to find when she gets sentenced. No, come on. You're killing me here, Smalls. 9 a.m. Central Time. Okay, so 10 a.m. tomorrow. If it's on, I'm available. I'm going to cover it. So I just checked my schedule, and I am free in the morning. So I will be doing that. If we can do it, we'll put the stream together. I'll let everybody know. But yeah, it'll be interesting to watch. Very curious to see what happens. Well, I mean, if it's true they should be subject to a penalty, however, at this point it's too early to name names. I mean, unless you're trying to argue they were influencing people, but if they claim, oh, I was not doing it with the intent to influence the judges, but I wanted public to know what was going to happen, then did they break the law? I don't think so. Certainly they broke rules and trust, with the Supreme Court, and maybe ethically they could be sanctioned, but nothing here. Nothing will happen to them. Unless they start lying to the investigators who will be federal agents, and that's I think I mentioned that before, it's in 18 U.S.C. 101. Martha Stewart, Michael Flynn, that's what they get a lot of people on. RBF and, yeah, aggravated B-face or Amber B-face. Well, I'll make sure it's streamed. I mean, it'll be saved on the channel. I don't think it'll take too long, so that one will probably be not too bad to watch. Well, I won't be watching that. I mean, unless they're doing jury selection for Sarah Boone, I am not going to watch that. I know some of you guys like watching a trial like all the way through, but for me as an attorney, voir dire, I mean, it's tough enough to do it, but to sit through and watch it when it's not your own, that's like watching paint dry. So I'm not going to cover that. But if they've already, I don't think they've done jury selection yet. So we'll jump in when they start, presentation. And if they haven't done jury selection yet, it's probably going to be at least a day or two minimum. But yeah, 10 a.m. tomorrow, we will do Redonda Vaught. That's really, do we really need, Harris, I've talked about this before. Do we need laws for everything? I don't necessarily think that's how I want to have a society where everything is a law. Because really, what laws have you broken? Is it confidential material? Is it classified, privileged? Not in the traditional sense. So, like I said before, we don't need laws for everything. We can handle it in our own ways. So that's really it for me tonight, guys. I think we're all caught up. Unless somebody's got something else they want to talk about. So Sorry, guys, I'm trying to look here. No, that's really it for me right now. Yeah, guys, have a good night. The high-class murder of the... Is this real or a joke? Because it also sounds like something out of Hitman. Oh! Oh, the shover. The lady who got shoved. Damn, she was a voice coach. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, no, we'll cover that as it gets going, but, I don't think, there's been a whole lot of updates on that, but I'll work on that one. Sorry. If you said lady getting shoved, I would have caught up on that, but no, we'll work on that, Josh. Yeah, I'll make sure I cover that. I'll put a note down for it. Yeah, but that's really it for me, guys. Thanks, Josh. Yeah. Yeah, thanks again, everybody. Everybody super chatted. I appreciate it so very much. And remember, 10 a.m. tomorrow, we're going to do Redonda Vought. And remember, until next time, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty.